still in the Europa Conference League. We're going to talk about transfers and welcome to the weekend of football again. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have a whole lot of games that is going to happen in the EPL, in the English Premier League, the Spanish La Liga, and the Serie A. The Bundesliga is starting this weekend. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. I remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. And I'm also with the guys in the studio. We are going to be talking about this team that Chelsea played, Servette. I know you'll be surprised. Which team is that? Come on, Chelsea fans. You'll be hearing a whole lot of names in this your conference league. Names you not even heard before. You're going to be hearing strange names on the teams you are going to be playing. Good morning, Nos. How are you?
Good morning. Thank God you talked about that Servette thing. I was seeing names on the conference league playoff, like names like Indian movies, names that sound like names of Indian movies, Bali and the rest of them. But it was a good game yesterday. Noni Madueke to the rescue, and welcome to another weekend of fantastic football.
Good morning, John.
Yeah, it's fun. Glad to have you here.
Okay, let's start with the game with Chelsea. Chelsea played, which they won a conference league. How did you see that game again? Madueke scored that beautiful goal. You know, I kept saying it throughout the weekend that I didn't know why he did not play Madueke throughout the weekend, because throughout the preseason he looks like the person that could shine for Chelsea this season. He was on form, but he didn't play throughout the weekend, and I was surprised. But now he was played in this game, and he scored that beautiful second goal, John.
Yeah, for me, normally there's no question about his talent. There's no question about his ability on the ball. Even what's his name now, Enzo Maresca, has come out to say good things about Noni Madueke, that he's the type of player he likes and stuff like that. But you know, it's hard to imagine when he's missing out on key games. We don't want that to develop into another Smith Rowe situation or Alvarez situation. So, but yeah, fantastic goal, good performance for the team. I'm really happy about his performance altogether for the side yesterday. And then also for Nkunku scoring the penalty, blowing his balloon as usually does. Fine. I didn't expect any surprises from Servette yesterday. Even though Chelsea struggled in the first half,
yes, I think it was 0-0 in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, for them to struggle against Servette, come on, man. Like, anyway, let's
struggle against Servette. Now 11 against 11, will not be 11 against 2.5.
Yeah, 11 against 11. But you cannot rate the quality of football both sides play. One side plays in the Premier League, the other one plays for another side.
That is what we keep saying, and that's the thing. You know, that was what we keep saying about teams and teams like that. When we look at the chart of teams that have dominated the European competition and club competitions, so far we are seeing Spain and other teams dominate. Then England just comes in maybe once a while. It's always Spain up there, Italy and Germany.
But this is a Swiss side. It's a Swiss side, for crying out loud.
This is what I'm saying. So they have talent. See, like I said, on the pitch, it's 11 against 11. Chelsea did a performance yesterday, but we were saying about Godwin was talking about Noni Madueke starting against. It's Man City, for crying out loud. The man was trying to pack the box against Man City, so that's fine by me. On the weekend, we see that some of these players that didn't play in the weekend are playing in the Conference League qualification. But Servette is a side that we know can go on to do big things. And come on, look at where they played now. They finished among the top. They are one of the top winners of the league, and they qualified for the Europa Conference League, playing against Chelsea, giving up that performance in the first half. I felt like they were shot in their foot when they didn't score the early goal. The first counter they went on, they didn't score. If they had scored that goal, it would have been game over for Chelsea, because Chelsea find it difficult breaking into their half. I think they found it difficult into their box 18 and getting that shot, except for that penalty that cost them that made them lose their heads at the next goal from Noni Madueke.
All I'm saying is that the mentality from Chelsea yesterday was off, because this is what we've seen. We've seen this with, sorry, I'm calling this name now. We've seen this with Manchester United, where you start games on the left foot, and then you need a reality check before you recover your senses, and you now come out and start
playing last good football.
Okay, so you just forget. I know you're a pseudo Manchester United fan.
Anyway, agree.
But I didn't like that thing against Servette yesterday, because this is a game Chelsea should come out, play your football. Come out and you are Chelsea for crying out loud. If you switch Jesse, we wouldn't know who was Chelsea playing that game yesterday. So that's all I'm saying. I hate seeing teams start games off with the back foot. It doesn't make sense
See,
because one little mistake, you are
yeah,
chasing the
yeah,
game.
I understand your plight. You're a Premier League fan. You always want the Premier League team to excel. Same here. I always want the Premier League team to excel over any other team. Even when I see Real Madrid and Wolf playing in the Champions League, I want Wolf to win, but it's Real Madrid. But the same thing goes with Chelsea and Xavi last game yesterday night. It's 11 against 11, and I said I'll quote Mario on this one now. They play for big teams. They're a big side, but we are 11 players on the pitch, and there are 11 players on the pitch. We can go into that pitch and match them blow for blow. And I think that was what Xavi did yesterday, trying to match Chelsea blow for blow, which they could have done better by trying to play to their own strength, not compete with Chelsea. And that was where Chelsea had to maybe tweak their setup a bit and get those goals. And good for them.
Okay, if you that game ended 2-0 with to Chelsea, but if you look at that game, part of the game, the player that was totally off was Modric. And after the game, Mares have to address that in the press conference. But they kept asking him, what was the performance from Modric? He came out and said that we have to help him, that he has been off, but they have to find a solution to help him. He's a top collected player. What is wrong with Modric? Since he moved to England, everybody kept talking about him being the next big thing that will happen in world of football, but yet he is yet to show even the glimpse. Okay, so sometimes he shows one small sign, then he goes off again the next game. What is wrong with it? Is it about Chelsea environment, or what is wrong with Modric? What do you think is wrong with Modric, John?
Like I said, same thing I said yesterday about Rashford is the same thing I'm going to say about Modric, which means they need to get a shrink for Modric to bring back his former self. This is not the Modric we saw all those highlights before he made his fabled move.
Nobody saw him play football. Nobody saw that highlights.
They watch their league. You watch Ukraine league.
Yes, nobody saw his. I've seen him play. Only thing I thought I wanted him. Then Chelsea came in and brought. Everybody saw highlights.
Yeah,
Again, Real Madrid. This particular highlight that is later around
this
internet.
is the consequence of hijack FC. When you hijack, you don't know a player. You just know your rival is going after a player, and you want to hijack. You hijack according to Bishop. Now you hijack Mami Water player.
No, I think what happened to Modric was the environment. He didn't kind of settle in well, and I think language barrier was one of those things in his first season, and they had to.
He speaks English, a little bit of English, so why?
A bit of English doesn't really help you. Look at this guy that is living now in Kongala. You see, look at the Spanish he was speaking. That he was fluent in it. He didn't just speak a bit of Spanish.
It's showing you that the guy has intentionality about his career, and for you to tell me that this language barrier, if you tell me language barrier shouldn't be an issue, because as a footballer you should have that intentionality about yourself, that this is the profession I'm doing. If I'm going to leave Ukraine at any point in time for the Premier League or for Europe, I need to learn languages in Europe so that I can function.
Who was the player
perfectly in any club I moved to?
I think it was Mika Richards who left from England to
Fiorentina
and was taking language lessons from
Balotelli. Yeah, I heard
now
that
you
story.
heard the story. You know what happened. So I think him now coming to England. How are you sure he didn't take some weird lessons?
It's not about language lessons.
I'm just saying it's a language barrier for him at first, and with I read somewhere that Hungary and Ukraine are the toughest language to learn. So it's always difficult to switch from those language when you already.
But then let's not forget that most clubs, when they are buying players, they make available the services of somebody that will teach them the language.
Teach them the language.
Teach them the language.
Not on the training
and get them
ground.
to at least get fluent in that language.
What if it takes time, because you need. Why setting a language for yourself? Why learning the language for yourself? You also want to perform on the pitch and do great. So during the training time, you need to understand what the coach is saying, to understand the tactics he's preaching.
You cannot put his poor performances down to language barrier. I think the core of his problem at Chelsea is the environment at Chelsea when he came in terms of the overcrowded nature of the squad, the changes in management, because we saw him perform under Pochettino.
towards the end of the season.
Yes, everybody struggled at the beginning of the season. Chelsea struggled at the beginning of the season, but towards the end of the season, we saw a unit, we saw a bunch of players, Pochettino boys, as I call them, doing well, performing well, and he was one of them. So I'm really startled to see at the start of this season right now that the man can't even get himself up and about this season. It's terrible to see.
Okay, let's say he develops with Modric. Chelsea, Maresca think that is going to help him. Everybody's trying to help him. If he could help him, then fine. If he can't, then probably Chelsea might have a problem on their hand. They have to probably offload him as probably next season or not. Okay, let's move away from that game. Remember, Chelsea won that game 2-0. We are going to talking about all the games played. We'll be playing today and tomorrow. As Rangers International will be having their games today. We're going to talk about that in the show. Okay, let's stay with England. Crystal Palace is showing interest in buying Sterling. Not only Crystal Palace, also as okay. If you are Sterling, which club will you be moving to? I know everybody will say Aston Villa because they play Champions League, but Crystal Palace too, they are a good team. So if you are probably Ryan Sterling now, where will you be going to? Because he must leave Chelsea. The instruction that leave Chelsea this summer. So where do you think he will be going to?
For me, I think he wants to play good football. He wants to play a starting line of football, and Olise has left already. They'll be looking for replacement in that position anytime, any day. So this guy can just come in and fit in that place well. Mateta, for me, should not be starting for Crystal Palace, but he is starting, and he is beginning to get his flow back, scoring goals. I think last season was when he surprised me the most when he scored a goal against Man United towards the end of the season, and before then he was banging a lot of goals. And I feel like Sterling right now should go to a team where he knows he would be playing full time and not be on the bench, because the next English coach looking at who starts. So, and I think he should be fighting for a place in the English squad back again.
Don't you think that you should go to Aston Villa and play a Champions League football?
For me, if you ask me, Sterling should be looking to go abroad. Now, there's a credible option with what's his name now, Aston Villa, looking to sign him. I mean, Chelsea literally offered him to all the clubs in the Premier League right now, and Aston Villa seems to be biting at the bait. And if he goes in, the main thing is the conversations you have going in.
Yeah.
Because if you do not have those conversations, or they do not yield something reasonable for you, you can go into the club from Chelsea now and you're on the bench straight. So you need to have those conversations on game time, have the conversation of importance to the squad, have the conversation of length of contract, very important. So if he's going to have game time and squad importance at Aston Villa, then by all means let him go to Aston Villa, because Aston Villa are cooking, and Sterling joining that cauldron of players they have at Aston Villa is going to propel Aston Villa into a top 4 finish or a title in Europe or anywhere they are competing for titles. So I think he should be looking to go overseas or looking to go into Aston Villa starting 11 straight up.
John, scrap the title in Europe team, because they are going to be playing in the Champions League, and Champions League format does not involve you taking third position and going to play Europa League. So scrap that. It's already out of. So I don't think Aston Villa will be. Let's leave out of the list of Europe competitions. And
so you see them in the knockout stages
and lose again now. You lose now. At least Leicester no go. Leicester go, they lose now.
So you see them in the knockout stages, so you never can tell right now.
The only conversation you should be having is the game time and the length of contract. Though I understand what John is saying, but the length of contract and game time, not winning to competition. I just think him getting enough game time boosts himself and boosts his chances into being called into the fold of the English frame.
Game time and squad importance, because if you are going to sign Sterling and make him a big part of that club in the first place, so those two are very important, game time and squad importance, because it's important. Like for example, you saw him leave Manchester City, move Chelsea immediately into the first 11, immediately one of the top earners at the club, £325,000 weekly at Chelsea, second only to on the same level with Lukaku. So that tells you important player, game time, starting 11. If he's not going to get that at Aston Villa at Crystal Palace, he should go abroad. Simple.
Okay, let's see what happens with with Sterling, he's probably going to be moving to away from Chelsea. It's not probably, he is going to move away from Chelsea this summer, whether he likes it or not. Or has another option to stay probably 1 year and chop money. He can stay there and eat his salary for 1 year, because finding a club that can pay almost the wages that he's receiving at Chelsea is going to be tough. So either he's reducing his wages for 1 year and stay, he's his wages and move to another club, or he stayed at Chelsea for 1 year and eat his money. Okay, let's stay with England. Now, there's a news that Trippier wants to leave Newcastle. I don't understand that he just said that he wants to leave. Now, the only credible club now that is looking for him is Everton, and he's on loan, even though he started playing or 34 years old. But why is he even? He's a first team player from when he plays for Newcastle. But the rumor is there that it's because they took away the captain from him, because he was looking that he's going to captain Newcastle this season, but he's not going to be the captain. Bruno is going to be the captain for Newcastle next season. So why is he leaving? They are playing good football. Why is it? And only Everton, not that there is a credible club probably for him and say that you want to leave.
You need to look at some dynamics in this. He was dropped as the number 1-2 for Newcastle, so he's dropped in the pecking order. Now this is somebody that was starting for Atleti, came back to Newcastle, starting for Newcastle, and has been dropped and is being replaced with another player in the setup. So he feels he's not getting enough starting game time. And let's not forget, this is a player that played 6 games out of 7 for England in the Euro 2024, except the finals.
Out of position.
Irrespective. So he needs to be starting. And right now, Everton do not have an informed 2. They don't have an informed right back. And let's not forget, this is somebody that worked with Sean Dyche before. So they do not have a credible 2. So he's definitely going to start. And he's looking out for the opportunity, because right now at Newcastle, Livramento is benching him and he needs to be starting. That's just
I think probably had a conversation with the coach. I probably told him that he's not going to be starting this season. That's what I'm thinking about.
Him looking for a way out is an ego problem for me. I say it's an ego problem, because this guy, you're 30 something. You don't need to be starting all the games. I'll use other clubs. I always make instances to other clubs. I know it's not the same scenario there, but Toni Kroos was at some point wanted to go to the bench, but he said no, he can't. He wants to retire, and he retired from national football. There's a Luka Modric who is also one-time captain. Nacho, who was one-time captain of Real Madrid. They're all playing from the bench. Just put your impact. Once you've crossed 32, the only impact you can make in the game is help the young ones grow. Help the young ones with your experience. If you're not able to do that, then you're not a leader on the pitch anymore. Him being the captain of that side and can't play for the bench and help the young ones, so I think it's a problem for him. It's an ego problem for him. If he's going to Everton at some point in the nearest future again, he will be dropped to the bench and someone else will be there to replace him immediately.
I disagree. Making a blanket statement that once you are past 32, your only role at the club should be
not only.
But that's
your
what
major
you're
role.
saying.
Your
You
major
cannot
role.
make a canonical statement like that and just placate it over everywhere, because there are people in football that are called to play above the norms. Ronaldo is a player that is called to play above the norm, which is sitting on the bench for him is killing his spirit, his fighting spirit, his champion spirit, is killing that identity that he has built himself as the best player in the world. So he needs to be played. And if Trippier aspires above the average, which we're talking about, which is to be there, guide young ones, and then take what game time you're asking, he's asking a lot more for himself, and he's demanding a whole lot more for himself. Kyle Walker is starting for City. Kyle Walker is well above 32. Kyle Walker is a player who can start into any team. So Trippier should not be relegated to being the bench and bringing the young ones. If you need a nanny for the young ones, go and hire a nanny and put them into the side and let Trippier play his game. So at the end of the day, every player has the key to their own destiny. Everybody has a choice to play a big part role at any club. But if somebody is aspiring to have a better role, a better impact, you shouldn't be holding them back and relegating them to just helping the young ones.
I'm just saying it's the same thing. I will continue to say. What if he goes down to Everton now? It's a one-season loan, and after January they sign a right back that is better or that is well equipped than he is and younger. What will happen? He will go back to Newcastle and start begging for places again. I say stay and fight for your place. It's a thing with all this. What you said, the champion mentality always puts you in a position to fight for your place in the team, not just deserve because you've been there, you've done that, you deserve to be there. At some point, Ronaldo was dropped on the bench. Even at Real Madrid, at some point, in Real United when he came back,
yes.
At some point he was dropped to the bench. And what happened? They won the trophy and he left, and he didn't win anything, and he has not won anything since he left. So I'm not trying to put it over to you that he deserves to be on the bench or doesn't deserve to start. He's give up a performance, he deserves to start. But for a club like Newcastle, who always, Newcastle always bring in young talent into the fray. Why not just try help the young talents grow as well? If you're that leader you seem to be.
They should hire a coach.
Okay, let's see what happens with Trippier and if he's going to move. Let's stay with stuff like depends on how you want to see the Trippier thing.
It's funny. It depends on how you want to see the.
It depends on what Trippier wants to do. Yeah. Most people want to play even if they are 36, and Ronaldo is still demanding he wants to play at 36. So it depends on the player if he doesn't want help. Some people are not good with helping people. Like training up young people, they just want to do their and go.
And
so some player wants
to
it depends on what the player and what he wants to do. But let's leave that. But let's go with Newcastle because the Crystal Palace have rejected another bid for Gui, and they are insisting that they have to pay back £65 million if they need him.
The Premier League has started already, and this transfer is driving towards a stalemate at the end. Two transfers actually driving towards a stalemate. The first one is this transfer from McGahey, and the second one is the Jarrad Branthwaite story. Everybody's really tired about it, and the window is running down. If Newcastle need Gay, they need to go up and put up money and get the man and move on.
The money not there.
And they should rest now, because if you ask me, they have the funds to buy Gay, and there are also better angles to negotiate from which they are not exploring. Of course, look at the deal Arsenal did with David Raya, loan with option to buy, and they just exercised it this season. Fantastic signing, fantastic season. The guy is an Arsenal player right now, and even though he played as if he was an Arsenal player last season, so they should look at those options. And then secondly, if Crystal Palace are rejecting the sum, they also need to understand that two things are involved. Like we saw with Fulham last season over the Palhinha matter, how you accept a deal with a player and you do not file the paperwork even though the player is at the airport for over 14 hours, which is terrible. So they need to come to terms with this fact that this guy is ready to move. They should either look at the valuation and come to terms and make this deal happen, or he may not take it as well as Palhinha did for Fulham last season.
I think that part of the issue is that Anderson is moving. His partner is moving away. So if they are not going to be losing their both
you lose your two centre halves at once. Come on, when you're not Liverpool.
Whose fault though? Because let's not forget, before the move for Anderson came in, there has been a bid for Gay.
See, the move for Anderson.
This bid only stalled because of valuation. Do you understand me? So already, if you have £64 million in your hand now, as at 3 weeks ago, would Gay be in this conversation? He would have already moved, and the Anderson deal would not have gone through because they can't lose two centre backs in the same window. Not so. So then it's up to them. If you give them £65 million now, there's no telling me that Gay will not move.
See,
this is just antics.
We are seeing the Anderson situation now because it's a transfer market, but Anderson has been in the market since February. They've been discussing deals with Anderson since February early this year, and now he's moved. So you know that deal has already gone through since maybe March or so. It's just the paperwork and the final agreement that they just completed in June or so, or this week, last week. And you ask yourself, if you leave these two players to move on, who is there to play in their stead? You don't have much players play their side. We know Crystal Palace have a bench. You know they have an academy player that could come in and fit into their side, but they're not sure they could give them that right to play in Fulham. They want to blend them in. At least one person go now, the next person can go in January. That's why they're looking at a way to get more money for McGahey and maybe get another big name signing into the side. And you know, as this has left, if McGahey will leave for a big sum as well. They also need to bring in one key midfielder and a key defender.
Okay, let's see how that develops, because I don't think Newcastle will want to lose 2 players in a row. So if you look at that, if Newcastle can't get Gay, they are looking to buy Christensen from Barcelona. If that deal for Gay, probably in maybe final 4 or 5 days, they cannot put in a bid, but they are looking at it as an option. And if Gay is not going to come, then he is probably going to go for him, Christensen, and I guess Barca is actually looking to offload him too. I don't know why Barca is trying to offload every of their players. It's crazy. Okay, let's stay with in the English Premier League. Leicester City have agreed to sign Ayew from Crystal Palace. The deal is about £8 million. Good deal.
At this juncture, we say we decline to answer.
but Ayew is a good player, and you understand, Crystal Palace has only Vi and
for Crystal Palace to drop him to the bench at some point and start playing Schropp and Mateta up front, it tells you the level of good that he is. And no, we know Leicester City like to play all these old men and all these big men.
Now that's a low blow coming from you.
I'm not saying see they have a proper mix. I'm just saying they play old men, but they also have a proper mix of young talents in their side as well. Look at Fatawu, who did the assist against Tottenham Hotspur and the weekend, and you see that he's a young player with potential. So I think they want to bring in backup players in case if any of their first players are injured. And it's just there that the coach in charge now just likes the way or the style of play of Jordan Ayew. And
I think the real issue here for Leicester City is the money issue, because you have to look at realities. Funding is an issue, which is one of the problems Leicester had when they lost their key founder in that helicopter crash. So big funding into the side, signing players has been an issue, which is, and if you remember also, just winning back promotion into the Premier League, there are several first-team players that they let go, like the Ian Achol and a couple of other names. So funding is an issue. Maybe they let those people go so that they can have space in the wage bill. So 8 million for Ayew will give them flashes of brilliance, no doubt. But I think they are going for Ayew because right now it's what their hands can afford and what they can afford at this point in time. So good for them.
Okay, let's see how that develops with Ayew. Okay, guys, remember we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. And after the break, we are going to open the phone lines for you to call us to tell us what you think about all the things we are talking about. Okay, have one comment here on our YouTube channel. Emmanuel is saying, Ayew, why did they get Nelson from Arsenal again? Now, wow. At some point, they were looking to get Nelson on loan. So what happens to that? Is it that Pope Nelson is staying, or Leicester pulled out?
I really don't know, but if you look at the Arsenal setup now, Nelson has been integrated sort of into the Arsenal bench. I really don't know if he was going to be leaving, if Arsenal would have taken the risk of doing that. Because if you look at the situation at Chelsea, all the key players that are working with Maresca are training separately from the other 15 players that are in the loan bucket right now. So that means that they are protecting that core squad from the rest of the players, training at different times, training in the same facility but at different times, in different groups with different trainers. So if Nelson was going to leave Arsenal at any time, they would have, separated him from the first team or the bench. So since he's around, it means maybe Arteta feels he needs him, he can add something to the Arsenal side. And if that deal didn't materialize, I don't know, but I feel like Leicester have a couple of signings they can make from the Premier League in terms of loan, and they should be looking at clubs like Chelsea and a couple of other players to get real good talent that could help them improve their performances this season.
Okay, let's see how that develops. I don't think Arteta probably somehow Arteta likes Nelson, so probably he's going to be saying Arsenal one more season. Or let's see what happens in the next 6 or 7 days of the transfer. Things might develop. Okay, guys, we're going to go on a quick short break. We'll come back. We'll talk. There are other features that is going to happen today. There are other transfers from outside England in this year, the La Liga, and there are fixtures for today. Today's game, PSG is playing, and finally, Rangers International will be playing their game today. We are going to give you details about that. So, stay with us. We'll go on this short break. We'll come back and talk about all this.
Hello, Enugu. Have you heard? Volt 104.3 FM is granting small businesses in Enugu a chance to be heard and to be known. Let us help you advertise your business for as low as 2,500 naira per spot. And if you pay 50,000 naira for 20 spots, we will give you 10 spots for free. For more inquiries, visit Volt 104.3 FM at 64 Ozolo Street by ESBS Junction, Enugu, or call our marketers on 0815 628 5384 or 0816 215 5195.
Gold 104.3 FM.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the show. Before we move away from the EPL, Arsenal have already, in principle, have already agreed to sign Mikel Merino. So that deal will happen this weekend. So he's going to be moving to Arsenal this weekend. And again, the youngster, Charlie Patino, is going to be leaving Arsenal. He was actually one of the stars everybody was thinking that he's going to develop as a big star in Arsenal, but unfortunately, Arteta has different ideas. So he's going to be leaving Arsenal this season. Okay, guys, I've opened the phone line. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
I just want to ask.
Okay, I can.
I want to know what happened about Lukaku.
They are still talking. Probably once the information about Lukaku, will give it immediately. But still at Chelsea.
Okay, for Sterling, I would like him to stay in England to prove his coach or Chelsea coach to prove him wrong.
Okay.
Because Sterling is a good player.
Yes.
That's the reason why he is not in class. I want him to say either go to, but I prefer his club that he will play in Champions League.
Aston Villa.
Yes, if you didn't go to let him go to that palace. I want to stay in England.
Okay.
Prove him wrong.
Okay. Thank you very much. And the number to call is 0706 048 5853. If you stay with Arsenal, there are these small rumors that we are hearing that Arsenal might look for Lookman, but I don't know how that will develop, but probably it develops. I think it's a good sign if Lookman comes to England and comes to Arsenal because he's a very lovely player. Come on.
I could take put two left-footed player for that right to wing. Because if he comes to Arsenal, he's not coming to play as a striker, no. He's coming to play as a winger, and it's from the same place Saka is playing. So it's going to give Saka a run for his money.
You've been the one that been saying that Saka hasn't had a replacement in that
I'm just
saying. I'm just
saying if he comes in, it's going to be a very tough fight for places because he wants to be starting games. Saka wants to be starting games. Now to put the two of them in this iron situation. Arsenal would be a side that when you're looking at the bench and you say Saka is disturbing the defender, let me defender for fitness. And you look at who Arsenal will be bringing in next, you're scared already because these two players, there's this dynamics they play. It's similar. It's the stopgap side of play. They know when to run to the pass. They know when to stop and get the pass where they're standing and beat the defender to it. And I think if these two players come to it, will be this case of, okay, let's not say they're playing against each other now or they're playing against for two different clubs in the same league. It will be a similar case to Ronaldo Messi situation where iron sharpened iron, but in the same training ground because these two players will not be the same five-a-side team in the training ground. They will play differently.
Yeah, it will also prompt some exits from Arsenal too, because some of these players that are getting time playing off either the right or the left will now
play. I can play anywhere.
If
I can play anywhere. FC.
If he comes that probably let's have to go because so he still will play. The next
I can play anywhere. FC.
Oh, but I think it's just a rumor because all this rumor that Arsenal is going for they're going for Lookman.
The same rumor is taking Lookman to PSG for recent news. So he can be going anywhere because I think Atlanta will want to, for the sake of money, want to sell if the right price comes in. But everybody still trying to bully Atlanta to sell for a cheap price, and they are not looking to sell any player anytime soon.
Okay, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Kelvin from Kariki, first time caller.
Oh, okay.
Wow, welcome.
Calvin, welcome to the show.
Though I'm a Man U fan, but I want to talk about Chelsea.
Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't know why coaches don't used to give players some time. I still love Sterling very well as a player, especially to play in England. If somebody is not doing well at the time, then you give him time. Then you bring somebody like John was saying, you bring out a technical crew that can at least work with this player to still bring out a better person from this person. We all lose the Sterling from Man City. When it came to Chelsea, they were happy that they will not have the God. And all of a sudden, the start of their plan. So sometimes I don't even know what some coaches are really doing. But anyway, if he's leaving Chelsea, I think he should put something so he can still prove and do Maresca around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about Iman Mogati from PSG? Is Man still working on it?
Ogati from PSG, yeah, they are still talking with Ogati from PSG, but they are actually looking for other options in case that deal didn't go through.
Okay, thank you very much. You're doing a good work.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that compliment. Okay, guys, remember we are live on YouTube at Vote FN Sports. We are live on YouTube at Vote FN Sports. You can go there and drop your comments too. We are going to be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, we have one comment here from our YouTube channel, and Emmanuel is saying Arteta won't get a backup for Saka. He is already trying out Martinelli from that angle already. Very pathetic. And if you look at it truly, even throughout last season, end of last season, he kept moving Martinelli to the right. So he's trying his small.
If you go walk, Ben White walk, why not Martinelli?
It is a good see. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
I'm Lawrence. I'm calling from Inuwaba.
Okay, Lawrence. What is your contribution?
My contribution is about to yesterday's man.
Okay.
Chelsea salad, Chelsea tissue paper. The fact that Chelsea struggled against Fulham, the Heavens wanted to put that because now you want Fulham 1-0. A server that don't know the ranking in Europe, whether it's 120 or 200, whether they even get ranking at all. Chelsea could not beat them with 1 billion squad. One player in Chelsea can buy that servers and the coach join together. They could not beat them.
It's true.
I placed them on the ticket. I was even having IDP for them to win. They could not beat them. Well, I wish them well. They're supposed to carry. They don't carry that conference. They should sack their coach. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's the talk in town that Chelsea must lift the conference league.
Yes,
come on.
Again, please, if you play, but please play responsibly, please. It's not advisable for you to be doing that. Hello, good morning.
Yes, I say from Super.
Good morning,
The club we play just yesterday. Where they finished in their league last season?
I think second in the league.
You know, I ask this question. This is black fella. He's not watching football. It's are finished second in that league.
No, I think because nobody knows they are not popular club, but that's why.
Quite popular. What do you be popular? Quite popular. You finished second in their league. What do you make them to be popular again? Okay. So I don't understand the angle he's going, but
I think he's a Man U fan, so I understand.
No, now he's a Man U fan, but I put you to him. He's not watching football because I say that Arsenal played second. Who say that they don't know them, and the John is watching him say especially. The team he say league that don't try to say don't start. So only when I think well after they might come back.
Okay. Actually, they finished fifth in their Swiss league, so they actually fifth. So
even if they finish seventh, they try. It's not easy thing to be done.
Okay.
Not easy thing. I wish Chelsea would play Man with 2 times this season.
They will play 2 times this season. No, they will play 2 times this season. Everybody will play 2 times this season. Everybody.
Okay, no problem. When you meet, you know what will happen.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm not surprised in what will be the result. This Premier League this season, the top, I think, aside for Angie and what's it called now, Unai Emery, the top 6 teams all have bad-headed coaches, so it's going to be battle of the bad. Okay, and Arteta,
Arteta has full head, please.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's full help. Why are you coming for this man?
Okay,
No, I
let's
say
take,
aside from these 3 coaches.
let's take this call again. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I called back to reply to Ike that just called. He said that I don't watch league. Tell him when has he watched Swiss league and let him tell me the channel. He that watches league. He that watches man. Tell me the time he has watched Servette play Switzerland league. I know that they are in Swiss league with Young Boys and Basel. But who knows them? If it's Basel had played that draw, I wouldn't have said anything. Or Young Boys because they are the popular team in the Europe.
And Zurich.
Not Servette that managed to struggle to 6th. Oh, they are neighbors now, 6th and 10th. What is different? So you will not blame them. You will not blame him now. Because guys finish almost 5th. We demoted them to 6th. So this season they are almost automatically follow content already. Season almost started. So it's their neighbor.
All right.
So that's it. No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move away from England. Let's go to the Serie A. Let's start to the Serie A. If you look at what's happening at AC Milan, AC Milan is trying to build a team.
Okay, the story about Rafael.
Probably the president came out and said that he is not leaving, even though there is rumors that Barcelona wants him. If Nico Williams is not working, but what do you make of that? That he's not.
That's what I'm saying. The story about Rafael. The club president said, and I quote, "He is not going anywhere. No amount would let him sell Rafael out of AC Milan. He is a player for the now and the future. He is the face and the prince." He's already tagged him a prince of Milan. So I think for that story, it's as a result of Barcelona, what's it called, asking around for him. I think club that has come out to say he's not going anywhere, and it's going to be tough because now for this player not to go anywhere, you need to increase his bid. And
let's see what happens. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, everybody in the studio.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah, this is Michael calling from Michigan, Calago, the local government area of Ebonyi State.
Okay, Michael, what's your contribution, Michael?
Thank you. About chess, I want to talk about the chess and challenge John.
Okay.
John is a good analyst, but sometimes, maybe because of yesterday, Man City just woke up yesterday, and he's a Manchester City fan. He forget Pep Guardiola record. When they promoted Guardiola from the first team for Barcelona, when Frank Rijkaard dropped as the head coach of Barcelona, Guardiola attacked both them. They could them many key player at Barcelona. Guardiola to build his own team, and everybody gave him that chance. When the same this Guardiola, when they support now as a Man City fan, he could charge as a Man City coach from this Jordan man Pellegrini Adewotu. He sacked the same Yaya Toure and some other key players at that Manchester City to build his own team. Arteta, the National nearly sacked Arteta for him to build his own team. Now, I just want to John and all this Manchester United fans leave Chelsea alone and leave Merask alone. That I give him 5 years now, and the option with another season. They know the reason why they give him that option to give him that 5 years. So we have to build, let him build his own team, not to say tell. Even John, I'm asking John, you know that himself from in time for Queen's Park Rangers. From there to Liverpool, we know him because sometimes because of you are a journalist, you just wake up and say you condemn coach, you condemn club. They say Chelsea. Everybody knows that. See, I want to tell you, Chelsea will finish ahead of Man U again this season. Just take back to back.
Okay.
I promise you that. So you should leave Chelsea alone. Do your analysis in the studio. Forget about all this. Guardiola scattered many things in Barcelona. Even to Bayern, when he coached Bayern, you know the history. We are all football fan that's playing football. You guys, do your analysis as a journalist. Forget to criticize Chelsea or this and that.
Thank you very much.
All these smart people, leave Chelsea alone. Let this man build his own team. Okay. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much.
I think I need to make an impression that nobody's attacking Chelsea or not. Our job is to make sure that we just analyze the situation on ground. Nobody is attacking Chelsea. If you look at last season, they gave
oh, I've not seen this before, until we started seeing the innovation of the Enugu State Stadium. We started seeing players travel by plane to Lagos,
Yeah.
travel by flight to other places. They're no longer traveling by bus to nearest locations to play matches. And you say, okay, fine, this is the exposure we're looking for. But also, then there was a time when they said they were going to Spain to train for 2 weeks or so. This is also the exposure you need.
Yeah.
Teams like this traveling to South Africa, traveling to Spain, just for training of 2 weeks training, and it's going to open their minds that when they meet these big name players, they could at least tell them, oh, it's 11 against 11, just like how Tissue, or that's what they call it. That's just like how Servette did against Chelsea yesterday.
Okay, let's see how Rangers is going to be doing today's game. That game is about 3:30 p.m. today. You can probably go and support Rangers. Okay, in the La Liga, we have features for Friday is Celta Vigo versus Valencia. By 6 o'clock is Sevilla. Our senior man is going to be playing today versus Villarreal. In the Bundesliga, it's starting today. Bundesliga is starting to Bayer Leverkusen versus Borussia Mönchengladbach is going to be playing starting the Bundesliga. The first game of the season, then PSG is going to play Montpellier. Okay, this is how we're going to end today's show, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the calls. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. When you go there, please like, comment, and share our content. Okay, I will come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is football weekend, so we're going to talk about a whole lot of football weekend tomorrow. Come, call us, drop your comments. We are going to be reading your comment live here in the studio. My name is Godwin, and have a lovely day.
104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show. Sports.
Alex Iwobi gets the ball into the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a goal!
Entertainment.